In this video, we'll discuss how to add multiple screens to our app and how to navigate between them programmatically. Up to this point, we've just looked at single screen apps. And for simple apps, that might be sufficient. But most applications have 2 or more screens that the user can interact with. So now let's look at how we can add multiple screens in the designer. Adding a second screen in the designer is trivial. Locate the view controller element in the toolbox and click and drag it to an empty area on the design surface. Remember that earlier we discussed that in order to add behavior, we need to have a backing class. For your view controller, you can either associate it with an existing view controller class, or you can type in a new class name and the designer will add the class for you. Remember that this must be done before you can set names or wire up actions. You must set the storyboard ID on the view controller to identify the view controller in code. A good practice is to set the class and the storyboard ID to the same value. Programmatically creating designer-defined view controllers requires several steps. First, you need a reference to the storyboard that defines your view controller. There are a couple ways to do this. You can find it using the static UI storyboard from name method and use the resource name of the storyboard. Or, if you're working in the code behind for a designer-defined view controller, you can use its storyboard property, as long as both view controllers are defined in the same storyboard. Once you have the storyboard, you can call instantiate view controller to create a view controller by passing in the name defined in the storyboard. This method returns a UI view controller type. You will most likely need to cast it to your custom view controller type. Once you have the view controller, you can display it. There are a few ways to do this. First, you could replace the root view controller. Remember, this is the first view controller that is displayed as defined in the app delegate. Second, you could use one of the built-in iOS navigation patterns. We won't cover this here, but it is covered in our iOS navigation course. And third, you can present it modally on top of an existing view controller. This final option is what we're going to talk about today. You do this through the present view controller method, which is on the UI view controller class. This method takes 3 parameters: the view controller to display, whether to animate the view into place, and a completion handler, which is an action delegate callback. This is called after the new view controller is displayed. This API is used to present a new view controller over an existing one. You'll need to dismiss the new view to go back to the previous screen. To dismiss a modal view controller and return to the previous screen, we'll use the built-in dismiss view controller method on the UI view controller class. This will destroy the view and the view controller of the currently displayed screen. The previous view controller is then reshown, but not reloaded. This method takes 2 parameters: whether to animate the view off the screen, and a completion handler, which is an action delegate callback. This is called after the view did disappear method is called on the current view controller. You can customize the animation used to transition to the new view controller through the modal transition style property. The animation style will be used when the view controller is presented and then reversed when it's dismissed.